The NFL draft has come and gone, and the Las Vegas Raiders may have just had their best draft ever. Last year's draft was great, but after the trauma of a few disappointing drafts in recent years, Raider Nation really needed another pick-me-up. And boy did we get one. John Spytek was out there playing chess while those other teams were out there playing motherfucking checkers. Honestly, from what I saw, most of the teams around the league drafted pretty well this year. And as well as the other teams in the AFC West, which I'm not too happy about. But we ain't here to talk about them. We're here to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the Raiders went from having 9 picks in the draft to having 11. Now, 11 players is quite a lot, and there's no guarantee that all 11 players will make the final 53-man roster, but the potential is definitely there. What was that? Did someone say this was the best Raiders draft ever? "31% of people watch football and play video games on this channel. We do just that." What is going on, everyone? It's your favorite Raider gamer, Lobe Dog, and we're back with the 2025 NFL Draft reaction, recap, review, whatever YouTube R word you want to use. Sorry, it's been a few weeks since my last full-length Raider video. I'm in college, and I've been busy. You ain't gonna do my homework for me, are you? Didn't think so. And honestly, I prefer taking my time with my videos, because if I promise a video every other day, like some channels, then you get content like, yesterday on his podcast, Max Crosby announced that he likes cheeseburgers. Like, bro.
We do not care.
Anyway, let's dive into what we've all been talking about. This year's NFL Draft. This is the Raiders' biggest draft class since 2007, and I can confidently say that they have at least 3 day one starters that'll help this team out tremendously. In a division that has been ruled by the Kansas City Chiefs for the last 9 years, and with a division with other teams that are coached by Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton, the Raiders have desperately needed to catch up. And I believe during this offseason, the Raiders are well on their way to doing that. And here's how. On day one of the draft, there was no telling what was going to happen. And as the Raiders' time to pick got closer, there was still no telling what direction they were going to go in either. They could have went with the obvious choice, in my personal opinion, and picked Ashton Jeanty with the 6th pick, or they could have picked a lineman or a cornerback. What if he's not good? What if his talent doesn't translate to the NFL? What if taking a running back that high was a mistake? Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow your roll. Let's take a breath. In. Out. Feel better? Good. I know change is scary, but what if he being superstar running back Ashton Jeanty, exceeds all expectations? What if it all works out? Not just him, but the 10 other guys the Raiders picked up this year in the draft. Thankfully, they chose Jeanty with the 6th pick, letting Raider Nation breathe the biggest sigh of relief. Jeanty ran for a whopping 2,600 yards during his last year at Boise State, and most of his runs needed fucking 4 to 6 guys to bring him down. He was easily the best running back in the draft, and I'm glad we got him. People were calling for the Raiders to trade back and take a lineman, or trade back and take a running back later on. Fuck that. Are you kidding me? To those people, I say, what? Next thing you know, the Raiders play the team that actually drafted him, and he runs all over them, making the team just look plain dumb. After losing Jacobs last year, that is exactly what the team needed. Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll love to run the ball, so this was a match made in heaven. I fully expect the run game to go crazy next year, and as a result, that should help the passing game too. Day 2 is where we saw John Spytek and the scouting team really shine. They traded back not once, but twice. They traded back with Miami and Houston, first swapping out their 48th pick with Houston's 58th pick, which allowed them to draft wide receiver from TCU, Jack Betch. Betch could be a very good player for the Raiders this season. Now, this is a guy that has a lot of upside. I can't stand when motherfuckers say a guy has a lot of upside, or when they talk about a player and go, this is a guy. Shit really grinds my gears. Anyway, Jack Betch scored 9 touchdowns and ran for 1,000 yards during his last season at TCU. And if he can do anything close to that for the Raiders next season, they'll look so much better off rip. Because the only player they had for real last year was Brock Bowers. The rest of the passing game was pretty lackluster. Later that day in the 3rd round, the Raiders picked Iowa State cornerback Darian Porter. Porter is a decently tall cornerback who can provide some much needed help in the secondary right out of the gate. And with one of the fastest 40 times at the combine coming in with a 4.3, we should see a lot of great defending out of him. He does need some work though after seeing some footage of him at the rookie minicamp, but we all can be perfect, you know what I'm saying? 30 picks later with picks 98 and 99, the Raiders took not 1, but 2 offensive linemen. They took Caleb Rogers from Texas Tech and Charles Grant from William & Mary. I'm no sports analyst or anything, but I've seen some tape on these guys and they look pretty decent. These guys could definitely add some much needed depth to the offensive line, and who knows, maybe after this summer, they might even take a starting job. We'll just have to wait and see. During day 3 of the draft, the Raiders took a whopping 6 players that day. In round 4, the Raiders started off with picking Dante Thornton out of Tennessee. And this is one of the picks that I'm really hopeful for. This dude is 6'5". He also ran a 4.3 at the combine, and this guy could low-key be another Xavier Worley, but for the Raiders. The Raiders didn't have any 5th round picks, but they did take 2 defensive line depth pieces that are much needed. They took Tonka Hemingway in the 4th and Jeremiah Pegas in the 6th. I really hope they build the defensive line like the Eagles, because the Eagles were fucking decimating teams, dude. So if we can do the same, shit, we going to the Super Bowl. Then much later in the 6th, they drafted Tommy Malone and Cam Miller. Both played in the FCS championship game, but it's much more likely that Tommy Malone will have a much more wide receiver presence on the offense rather than QB, but who knows. And lastly, with the 222nd pick, the Raiders took Cody Lindenberg, linebacker out of Minnesota. Like I said at the beginning, there's no real way to tell if any of these guys will pan out. Shit, even Jeanty, we don't know until August comes around. Training camp is right around the corner, and preseason is that much closer. Now, I wish all these guys the best. I wish the team the best, and I hope that the guys that do pull through can help this team, can help elevate this team, and make us a team that is worth respecting. I'm excited, man. All these team workout videos and the schedule release video got me fucking excited. My next video is going to be me predicting the Raiders' wins and losses after the schedule release video, so stay tuned for that. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your boy Love Dog, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. And as always, go Raiders. There's a cat on my lap. There's a cat on my lap. There's a cat on my lap. Get out of here.